Welcome to Chi-Town Cigar Podcast, the podcast where three Chicago guys light up a fine cigar and get into everything from sports and current events to hobbies, life's little moments, and everything in between. Whether you're here for the cigars, the conversation, or just some good laughs, we got you covered. So grab your favorite smoke, settle in, and join us for laid-back chats with a Chicago twist. Now it's time to put some smoke in the air.
It's Tuesday night in the Windy City, and that means another episode of Chi-Town Cigars. Glad you joined us live or listen to us later on Spotify, Apple, or iHeartRadio. I'm Mike, coming to you live from the Aganorsa Studios in Central Illinois. Hey, guys, what's going on? You ready for another show?
I'm ready. Totally ready.
Three guys are back, and today we got fourth one.
Yeah. So we are going to jump right into tonight's show. We promised it. He promised it. And we are back, and Juan Cancel is joining us live.
Hello. From sunny South Florida and Espinosa Premium Studio. This is Cigar. No, it's not. It's the wrong show. How you guys doing? It's a pleasure to be here. Let me address the 800-pound gorilla in the room. I apologize to you guys in the green room. I'm going to apologize to all your viewers. I'm sorry. I was supposed to be on last Tuesday, but unfortunately, I had just came off. I was on the heels of my trip to Colorado. And it is such a thing that the people of Colorado, when they come to Florida, they become like superheroes. You know how like Superman was strong because of the sun? Like these people are strong because of the elevation. So where they're like Erica Tornsman's son, right? If he's just a regular guy in Colorado, when he comes to Florida, he can drink to no end, not get drunk. He's got the energy. He's running around. His 3-foot jump's like a 6-foot vertical jump, so he's totally different. And the opposite goes for people that go up there. So I've been sea level, like I can walk to the sea, for most places. And there you're a mile high. And the first day or two, I was okay. It didn't really affect me. But by day 3 and 4, like day 4, I slept 12 hours. Like I was really tired. And I got here and I was just dragging ass, and I totally forgot. So I apologize to you guys, but I'm here now. So
absolutely. Well, it's great. We're glad you're here. Yeah, the Colorado light era is definitely different. But we're glad you made it. We're glad you're here. This is exciting for us. But before we get going, what's everybody smoking? What are you smoking, Marty?
I am smoking the Protocol Crime Scene Unit.
Ooh, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Actually, that is my favorite out of everything we've ever done. I'll tell you the story later.
Nice.
All right.
Teddy, what are you smoking?
I got the Don Lino Africa that we got from the packet.
Yeah.
It's really good. I think I had it once. This is probably the second time. It's so good. Really good.
Awesome. And I am smoking probably I said this last year, and I wasn't stealing it from Juan, but I'm really into the boutique brands. And I am smoking I don't know if you guys can see this or not, the Warfighter Rosado. And these guys are just phenomenal. We are actually going to have John on our show in a couple of weeks. I think, what did I say, late July? Marty, do you remember? I think it was late July.
Right.
From Warfighter. Great guys, great cigar.
I actually reached out to them to cover them on my boutique of the week, and I've yet to have an answer. I mean, I haven't gotten a response back. But listen, we're gonna talk about this. So a lot of times I'm out there trying to help boutique brands, and maybe there's some that never heard of me, and next here comes a guy giving you an email talking about this. Unless the people know Cigar Dojo and maybe do a little digging. But you'd be surprised how many boutique brands I reach out to and get zero ungats response back, which pisses me off a little bit. But, I get it and I understand it. But it's so many people losing out on an opportunity. But, yeah, go ahead.
No, it's funny you say that because I reached out to Warfighter 3 times. I sent him an email, no response. I gave him some time and then all of a sudden he responds back, I'm really sorry. I'm traveling for work. And you were a small brand, you were a boutique brand.
Yeah.
Those guys, they're it. They don't have a staff of 20, 30 people. So they're the ones that are driving all around. So but no, I get your pain as we reach out to brands to try to talk to them and get them on a show. It's like you hear crickets for a while and you hate to be the pest, but you just sort of keep pushing in and going, hey, I just want to get you on the show, talk to you. So
yeah, free advertising. Join us.
Yeah.
Juan, what are you smoking?
I am smoking. All right, so now we're talking about me. I'm smoking La Vega Il Segundo. This is a brand by a former Vegas chef.
Oh,
The name of the company is La Vega Cigars. It's Aaron Polenta, I think it is. And I discovered him kind of the same way that I've been reaching out to people. So I don't know if you want to get right into this, and I'll explain to people what I'm doing to catch everybody. But most people that are watching this, they kind of already know. So my name is Juan Cancel. Once upon a time, I owned a beautiful brand called Protocol Cigars. It was a boutique brand that started off with just, I was always been, actually, I would say, when did it really start me being a cigar nerd? I want to say it was 2006.
okay.
In 2006, I'm married to my second wife. I'm a full-time cop. She's a full-time nurse. And I say to her, hey, I want to go to the New York Big Smoke. And she says, oh, that sounds great. Go ahead, don't worry about it. Buy the tickets. I'm like, oh, okay, no problem. I walk away. She goes, ho, 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 ho. How much is that ticket? And back then in 2006, it was like maybe like $175. I was like, it's $175. You know how much milk? You know how much diapers? You know how much this that could buy? You know, da da da. She was like, oh, you're right. All right, so I walk away. You're right. So be responsible. Got a young family. My firstborn was maybe only like 2-3 years old, something in that ballpark, still in diapers, of course, whatever the age was, you know. So I walk away. She goes, hold on. She says, hold on. She had an epiphany. Thank God. Hold on. Come here. You know something? You work hard for this family. You put all the chips on the table. You're always working. You do. Go ahead. Go spend your $175. Have fun. I'm like, whoopee. You would think she gave me a green pass to go to that place in Jamaica where they have all the nasty stuff happens. What's it called again? Anybody ever hear of that? There's a club.
Yes.
Hedonism. You would think
Hedonism,
she
yeah.
gave me. You would think this woman gave me a full expense paid trip to Hedonism with a school note says, "Dear women, I give Juan permission to have all the sex he wants," or whatever, you know. So that's the level of. I'm just trying to tell you what kind of level of excitement.
Yes.
Long story short, I go to Manhattan. It was the Marriott Grand Marquis in 42nd Street, Manhattan. I walked in. It was I don't remember the exact month, but I know it was 2006. I walked in. It was my first ever New York Big Smoke. I walked into this massive ball banquet hall, the Marriott Marquis, and I look up. It looks like 20-foot ceilings, and I'm like, wow, what's going on here? And I see the smoke in the air. Then I see all these tables with people, and I'm like, wow, this is Shangri-La in the cigar world. So I start going in, and you know, they do the same thing they always do. They have these little tickets where you go all to these tables and you give the tickets out, blah blah blah, and you get the cigars in. And then I started just to become a cigar nerd. I was very early on. I guess I was getting very much into the whole cigar thing, and but I was nerding out. And they had back then, it was La Gloria Cubana Super Roll competition. So it was actually Ernesto Perez Carillo, and he was actually there. It was back when General still had La Gloria. And what they did is that General had a promotion or campaign where they would go to all the New York, all the cigar aficionado Big Smokes. So I believe there was maybe 2 or 3 sessions in New York, 2 or 3 sessions in Las Vegas, 1 session in Chicago, 1 session somewhere in Jersey, and then somewhere, I forget, there was 1 more. But anyways, a bunch of them. So I'm there in New York. I sit there. This is a great story, but I'm gonna try to condense it. They put me in front of this old man. His name is Papaleo. He's still alive. He just recently reached out to me. Back then, he was like 60, 70 years old. Who knows how old this guy is? He sits there. He's speaking in Spanish, and he's telling. I sit right in front of him. I don't listen to the guy translating. I listen to him. I say, "Yes, I speak Spanish. I'm gonna listen right to you." He goes, "Oh, you speak Spanish? You ever rolled a cigar before?" No. He sits there and he starts telling me what to do. He starts telling me, so I'm listening. I'm not. And the guy that was talking was Mike Giannini. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Mike Giannini. So Mike Giannini back then worked for La Gloria Cabana. Back then, like today, Mike Giannini of today looks like a white prince. You know, like white, like not a prince of a country, but the artist formerly known as Prince. This now went back to Prince. Ruffles, you know, high heels. That's how Mike Giannini looked. Back then, wow, he looked like a 400-pound crime boss, mafia crime boss that lived in Philly. pinky rings, vest, like they're totally different. The guys that don't know Mike Giannini from 2006, I miss Philadelphia Mike Giannini. Now we got this, which is cool too, but he used to walk around like he owned the joint. Anyway, he's talking to me, and I'm like, I'm not listening to you. I'm listening to Papaleo. Long story short, I rolled this cigar, and I'm looking at it like, wow, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever held in my hand after my child. And Mike Giannini says, let me see that. He takes a cigar. He looks at it. He goes, wow, you ever rolled cigars before? I'm like, no. He goes, what do you do for a living? And most cops, when they're active, don't really tell people that they are cops because we just don't, we don't want to, we don't go through all that. So I told him that I was a garbage man. But basically, I didn't really lie because my job was to take out the trash. So anyway, I tell him I'm a garbage man. He goes, you sure you never rolled cigars before? I'm like, no, I never rolled cigars before. He goes, listen, I want you to take the cigar, put it in the bag, take this piece of paper and a pen, write your name, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, what are you going to do with this? Well, we're going to collect it, and then we're going to put them out on the table. We're going to vote them, and if you win, you can win a trip to Miami. I'm like, nah, I don't want it. He goes, why? You don't want a trip to Miami? He goes, no, all I want is my cigar. He goes, no, listen, put the cigar. It's a pretty good cigar. You have a good chance of winning. Put it in the bag. I'm like, sir, I understand. I appreciate what you're saying, but I don't want to lose this. I know you guys are going to throw this around, and you're going to, like the Christmas story when Rafi gets the socks, he throws it. This is what you're going to do. Everything that you don't like. He's going to, and he got mad at me. Big fat fist, boom, on the table. Put the fucking cigar. Can I curse on this?
Sure, go right ahead.
Oh yes,
put
go
the
ahead.
bag.
We're
Put
good.
the cigar in the bag. Write your name on the damn paper. Sign it, seal it, give it to me. I promise nothing's gonna happen to it. I'm like, all right, fine. As long as you give me. I was all right. I do it. Blah blah blah. It goes in this humongous box. I'm like, oh my god, my shit's gonna get crushed. So then I get there. They're doing. They have all the cigars out, and they're picking them. They're putting them back, and the ones they don't pick, they're putting it in the box. I'm like, and then at the end, they have like maybe 5 cigars out of maybe 300 or 400, 500 cigars. I'm like, oh my, I'm never going to find my cigar. I should have not done this. Not only am I never going to win this prize, but I'm going to lose my cigar. It's going to get destroyed. So I'm sitting in the box and I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm looking. And he goes, in 4th place, you got John Doe with blah, 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 blah. He wins this. I look out like, what a lucky bastard. I keep looking. Blah, blah. In 2nd place, you got Stephen Smith. He wins a box of like Lori Cabana, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, oh God, what a lucky freaking guy. I'm looking. And then the runner-up, in case the winner doesn't win, is da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, I wish that was me. And then I'm still looking like, and in 1st place, and wins the trip to Miami, blah, 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 all expense paid, Juan Cancel. And I'm looking, I'm like, no, this can't be. I'm missing anything. I'm hearing things. Juan Cancel, where are you? And I'm there still looking through the box. And Mike Giannini came next to me. He was like, and I went like that. And he's like, bro, you won. Let's go. And there was no way for him to really do. So he picked it up. He goes, long story short, I get flown down there. And my wife, we go to Miami. I was shown how to bunch a cigar, put it in the molder, the wrapping, the bunching, the whole 9 yards, the wrapper. It was from loose tobacco to finished product I learned in this competition. Then they got all the winners from all the other big smokes, flew them down, and I wound up winning that one too. And it was just, that's what really got me down the rabbit hole of the cigar world. And I became this huge nerd that would just post about cigars. I started doing micro reviews. I was an influencer before there was an influence, before there were influencers. This is 2006. I was an influencer before they had boobs and pretty faces. How you like that?
Yeah, exactly. No, man, that's a heck of a story. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think I even heard that story on From Seed to Juan.
No.
Is that on there? I don't remember.
They did not tell that story because this was Seed to Juan was an entire life story.
Oh, okay.
This was specific to the what sparked, because I think I've said it a few times in a few podcasts, but you'd have to be but I've never really made a public post about it. But that's what started me, and from there I went down the rabbit hole and I got more into it. In 2007 or 2008, I'm moving to Pennsylvania. I was 2 miles away from Famous Smoke Shop. And there, and they back in those days, they were doing events almost every other day. You'd have Rocky Patel, Jonathan Drew, Pete Johnson, always, on there. And maybe being a nerd, I would go down there, buy a box or two, whatever, talk to these people. Before you knew it, these guys wanted to hang out because, I'm pretty cool. I don't want to sound conceited or crazy like that, but being a cop, you have to have a good head on your shoulder. You got to be a people person. So I use those same skills. It goes beyond being a cop, because it was me being, being raised and born and raised in the streets of Brooklyn. New Yorkers have a certain, well, not all of them, but a good amount, especially in the inner boroughs and in the cities and in the ghettos, as you like to say. You have to talk. Sometimes you got to talk your way out of a jam. And what happens is it becomes part of your personality. I've always been a very, like, you put me in a room with 30 people, never met me, 10 minutes, I'm surrounded by 29 of them. The other guy is trying to get out because he's hungry or whatever's going on. And that's just something that I've always been part of me. And it's helped me in all my careers. It's helped me being a cop because, I did 20 years. I never got one CCRB complaint. I never got anything, and I was getting serious felony arrest, but I never got a complaint put on me because I know how to, first I felt like I was from the streets like them, so I could relate to them. They were my friends that were in these situations doing dumb shit. And I would tell them sometimes, like, dude, man, you fucking up. You got to eat, whatever. I would talk to them like a regular guy. And I'm again, to go 20 years in the late 90s up until 2020, 2019 when I retired, not one civilian complaint. And I was very hard. I wasn't a frou-frou kissy. I would slap people around because I would only do it when the person deserved it. Yeah. And I know you guys watching out there, maybe not this group, but when does a guy deserve to be slapped? When he punches you in the balls, yes, he deserves to get his teeth knocked out. And he understands that. It's today's day and age that they want you to hug the bad guys. That's what they want. Yeah. The guy just killed 13 people. He killed your wife too and your daughter. When you arrest him, give him a hug first and tell him you understood that that's what he wanted to do. Yeah. So I'm from New York, and we're in New York, especially back in the late 90s. It was by hook or by crook. And, you treated these people. When I say these people, I'm talking about the street, the crime, the criminals. You treated them the way the code of the street was. You don't treat them like you're in Harvard University and they got to go to the bathroom. They raise their hand. Excuse me, Professor, may I use the bathroom? No, you got to slap these guys around. And I did that all the time. And I didn't, and it's because I know how to deal with people. So I digress, but I know I'm a little crazy. But so I think it was me being me having good people skills. I befriended Jonathan. I befriended Alan Rubin, and then next thing you know, they're coming to see me the third time. Like, yo, Juan, let's go hang out one day. Here's my car. And back then I was drinking, so I was a lot more fun. And then we start hanging out. Next thing you know, is Juan, I got an event here. Will you mind covering down? I don't got no people. And I did a few big smokes with, and also let me see who else. I had Cigar Famous was by me, and Cigars International, and of course New York was next to me. There was a bunch of times I get a call from Jonathan Drew. Hey, I got a show at Cigar Internationals. You think you can help me out? Boom, I was there. General, I was doing it for them too. I was doing it for Alec Bradley, a bunch of companies. I did it for Gurkha once or twice. I did it for Flor de Gonzalez. So when you're working on that side of the table, yes, you are now dealing with the consumer, but now you know the consumer because you're hanging out. The same thing like being a cop. You know the subculture, right? We know the subculture. We may not talk about it, but we know about it. You start to learn the ins and outs of the business. Next, it turns into Jonathan Drew saying, Juan, I'm going to fly you down to Nicaragua, bro. Let's go. Yes, you and me, we go. And next thing you know, back, Jonathan Drew stays humongous. I get, no airfare, no nothing. Just boom, show up. Boom, he's flying me in Nicaragua. I went to Nicaragua 12 times. And out of that 12 times, I think all 12 was on Jonathan dime, man. So wow. I constantly telling this guy thank you for it because he created. I tell him thank you, and the other people that hate me tell him, you damn jerk, look what you created. So Jonathan Drew is a big part of that, and going down there and hanging out with Jonathan, and it just naturally progressed. I went from being a super nerd to an influencer. I really thought, it's so crazy how life is. I really thought that maybe when I retired being a cop, I'd probably get into maybe being a media guy for a little bit, then becoming a rep, then eventually graduating to having my own brand. But organically, and it happened, I wound up getting my own brand in 2015. We launched, but the idea was first came to us in 2014. I'm hanging out with me and Bill Ives and myself. We're hanging out in Berkeley Heights, New Jersey, at Bill Agathis' restaurant, cigar shop. Back then, we knew each other. We weren't partners, and we're in there hanging out, smoking, bullshitting, having a great laugh. And next thing you know, Gatta says to us, why don't you guys create your own line? And then we laughed, and he's like, no, listen, I think it'd be great. You should create your own line. Like, nobody's gonna, you crazy. We just started laughing, and he goes, listen, I'll back you financially. You don't have to pay me $1. And whenever the company gets that money, I'll take it out. And this way it will never cost you a thing. And we were like, hey, two cigar nerds, and we get this dream, and we did it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna let you ask a question or take over because I've been known. You're not reining me in, so I'm just this is what I do.
I like it. It's yourself.
Yeah,
I like it,
yeah,
man. And like you said, from the beginning till now, you're yourself. I like that.
Yep.
I'm enjoying this.
Yep.
Real
quick before we get going, we want to say hello to some of our people. Hey, David K, glad you joined us. Fireborn, always good to see you. Who else we got? David K still there. TX, good to see you, buddy. I know we've got Sammy Flo, one of your fellow New Yorkers. Right. Sammy Flo's up there with Cigar, Barber and Cigar. Great guy. Slashua, good to see you. Matthew Brugger, good to see you, buddy. I figured you're smoking he's smoking the Pastania San Andreas Toro. Very good. David K smoking the BLTC and Macabre.
Ooh, he got it. Nice.
And TX Rebel smoking it as well.
Oh,
so nice. Yeah, it seems to be a pretty big one. Wayne is smoking the Bishop's blend. So we got quite a few people doing the BLTCs tonight. It's always good to see you guys on here. Brian, how you doing? Glad you're here, buddy. Big old milkshake. What's going on, buddy? And Tim, good to see you too. So yeah, glad you guys are all joining us. We're here with Juan Cancel. So Juan, I called you the cigar ambassador as we're advertising this show. I've watched Smoke Night Live probably. Well, I don't. It's rare that I miss them, but you just celebrated a year being on Smoke Night Live, and you've ushered in, I think, and this is nothing taken away from what Eric has done, but I think one of the most exciting parts of Smoke Night Live, and that being Juan's Boutique of the Week. So how did you pitch that to Eric, and what's your whole thought behind it?
So for me, I became boutique. So when I was telling the story before, I said I gotta let you guys. I wanted to light up a cigar again because I wanted to take a minute and also give you back your show for 30 seconds. But now I'm taking it back. So we're there, and he has the idea. Bill, I got this. Let's do this. Funds the money. We launch. We're two cigar nerds. I'm the same person cigar wise. I was fatter back then, and I was drinking back then. But I'm the same nerd that I was in 2014. So of course you get the opportunity to do this. You're like, yeah, let's do it. It's not gonna cost me nothing. Let's do it. And then the question was, who are you gonna use? What's the name of the brand? So to kind of shorten up the story, I was back then and still am a tremendous La Zona Eric Espinosa fanboy. And like I told, and the reason I tell you this story, so now it could all make sense. I had a lot of people's numbers in my phone throughout the years of me being this super cigar nerd. Rocky Patel, Jonathan Drew, blah, 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 all these guys. I could have picked the phone and called Rocky Patel, Jonathan Drew, and say, hey, make me a cigar. Come to find out years later, some people were actually mad that I didn't do that. But my thought process was, out of all the manufacturers, Eric Espinosa was the one I was closest to. We were hanging out. It was more than just him. This is a guy who's going to promote my cigar brand. Awesome. And I'm going to friend him. I'll take him out to dinner once in a blue. Eric treated me, like it was amazing how well he treated me. So when this opportunity came, the first person I thought was Eric Espinosa. And because I thought he'd be the only one to probably say yes, I called him up expecting a big fat no. And he was like, bro. I didn't understand a word he said, but I think at the end he said yes. Between about 100,000 bros, I heard a yes. So now we launched in 2015. We become this, we went to the first trade show in 2015. And, I'm going to tell this story. And then when other boutique guys watch this show, they're going to say some of the biggest advice, because I give advice to the boutique brands. The biggest advice is just because you launch doesn't mean you have to be at the PCA, the trade show. That's the worst thing you could do is launch and then go to the show. And then they're going to hear the story and say, but Juan, you launched in 15 and went to the trade show in 15. The difference is this, people. Eric Espinoza loved me so much that he did not charge me. He gave me a shelf in his booth about yay big for my 2 offerings. Wow. The only thing it cost me was airfare down there. And I think the hotel, I think our business partner, because the guy, it was loaded, so he didn't care. Plus he was one of these degenerate gamblers. So, whatever place had him comped rooms. So he was like, it didn't cost him anything, but again, it didn't cost me nothing. So the only thing that PCA cost me was an airfare. But when you go as a boutique brand today, and you don't have a manufacturer that's there with a booth and that has that beautiful heart like Eric Espinoza had to let you come in for free, it's going to cost you at minimum $15,000. And that is bare bones. I'm talking about a 10 by 10, a chair, and a fold-up table. That doesn't include anything you not eating. And then once you start throwing in everything, you're looking at, on the low end, bare bones, $15,000 to $25,000 for a small boutique brand that just launched yesterday. That's all the money they have, and then for them to recoup that money, it'll never happen. It'll never happen. And I tell people the first thing you got to do is build your brand, build the name, so that when people are walking down the showroom floor, they don't look and see like, who's that? When you're walking into the showroom, I want to see Protocol Cigars, boom, 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 because you've already built something. Now, with me, it was also different because Protocol was Juan Cancel. Yes, it was a brand. It didn't have my name on it, but it had my soul, my DNA. It had everything. So I had been building the brand Juan Cancel for 10 years prior with me talking to you about everything I've been telling. That's why I was telling you all this stuff, because it's all going to make sense at the end. It's like a prequel. I'm giving you the prequel so you don't have the questions later. You get what I'm saying? So then, and as you could see, I'm also Puerto Rican, but I was raised by Italians. That's why I do a lot of this.
That's what I was about to tell you. You do a lot of that.
I do a lot of this because Puerto Ricans themselves, they talk a lot. And the only thing I don't do is this one. I don't do this.
Nah,
but I do a lot of this.
Yeah, a lot of.
And that's I went to high school in Brooklyn, in New Utrecht High School, Bensonhurst, all Italian. So I used to go to the Italians, Seven Fishes, all that stuff. I used to see them fighting, them making up, and it was Seven Fishes was an amazing holiday. Great food, great fights, and great makeup. It was all amazing. It's all real stuff. So I still do this, and I was watching my PSA interviews. There's a lot of this. I'm like, maybe I need to try to curb this, but I have no idea how to.
It's
Be yourself.
It's you. Well, it's funny you talk about the PCA interviews because so your first PCA was in New Orleans.
Exactly.
Right?
My first PCA was 2015 in New Orleans as a manufacturer, and my first PCA was in New Orleans as Cigar Media.
Yeah. And I think the exciting thing was I was watching an interview you did with one of the friends of our show, Mo Malley from Patina. Mo's been on our show twice. Great guy. And the respect that he has for you. And it's like,
he blew me out of the water with that whole thing. Like I'm there for him. I'm giving him his flowers.
Yep.
I'm giving him his props because I am now there from him. And then when he did that, I was just like, wow. I told him off camera, I was like, wow, that was really nice. I almost got a little emotional, but I was just like, wow, bro. And then, it is what it is. Like, I think I bring something very special to Cigar Media in the sense that, you got guys that reach out to people and, some of the newer companies, like these guys might not have heard of me, might not know me, but the average guy has been around a few years, has known me, have seen me at the show. So when I'm reaching out, it's more of a, oh man, what's going on? It's more of a, so like if you look at a lot of the stuff, it was, a lot of my interviews were jokes. I was joking around. I was doing this. And, you guys go to interview somebody, you don't know them. You're not going to break their balls and say how important it is to be the most influential guy or how's the best hair. Meanwhile, I've known these guys for years. So it brings a whole new angle to it. And I think I bring something to the table. But anyway, so after all, 30 minutes later, I'm finally going to answer your question. So I create Protocol Cigars. It is boutique by nature. I have a very unique definition of boutique that I fit perfectly, the brand. We could talk about this later on, which we should. Somebody write it down because I don't have my production notes as always. I want to talk about what is boutique and how this industry has turned the word boutique from a category to a marketing ploy. But we'll talk about that a little later. So I know I'm boutique. So I used Cigar Dojo. I credit 100%. Don't get me wrong, it's part of my personality. I get it. It's my personality. It's a lot of things, but I think the majority of, if you look at a pie chart, I would get, and you see that it cut up into pieces. The biggest piece of that pie chart would be Cigar Dojo, because I was busy with the community. We got brand badges, we got this, and that made us grow, helped us to grow beyond this regional area that we were in. You know, at the height of protocol, yes, we were in 301 retail locations across the country, but a lot of that had to do with Cigar Dojo. How would Texas have known about us if we're just basically staying in the Northeast? How would all these other places know about us? It's Dojo, because then the dojo guys, you guys in the the dojo first guys, the dojo community, which you are a part of the dojo community, would go to your brick and mortar and ask for protocol. And that's how we started to build. So I knew that I knew that it was because of Cigar Dojo. So when I built this brand to the point where it was acquired, it shows that we built brand equity, that somebody somewhere would see the value of this and buy it. And they did. And thank you, Abe, again. I don't have a drink with me. You see, I'm off still a little bit. I wonder why, but
cheers to
I usually I have a some sort of like root beer float, something. I got nothing right now. But anyway, you guys go commercial break?
We do. We do.
All right, good. During the commercial break, I'll come back with something, with some A&W root beer floats. Anyway, so Abe, toast to Abe. Remind me to toast Abe when because it's bad luck to toast in my, I'm all like that. Anyway, Abe gets it. He wants it to do good. And I'm still there. I'm going to be a brand ambassador. I still have we're working on something working on a few things right now. So it's still going to grow. It's still going to be my DNA. But now that it's gone, I say to myself, now that it's gone, I am with Cigar Dojo. I am on a platform that I absolutely love and believe in. And part of, even Eric will say that. I try to be as humble as I can. But I am part of the DNA of Cigar Dojo. I was the one that introduced Cigar Dojo to Jonathan Drew. I called up Jonathan Drew and said, bro, you got to check out this app. Blah, 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 blah. Tell me more about it. Boom, 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 boom. I ran the whole thing. Look, this is the guy. He owns it. And then they got together, and it's because of that meeting that they eventually had the same likeness. And then the Dogma was born. And then I just always, because I was in the industry, I was always pushing guys to them. I brought in several people to be part of them, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then, but what I used to do is I would kind of guard Cigar Dojo as a secret, in the sense that you can't let everybody know about this, because then I wouldn't be special. So I would kind of I would tell, in the beginning, before I had a brand, like the Jonathan Drew, the Rocky Patel, this was before I had protocol. But once I had protocol, I kept that secret to my chest. I kept it quiet, because I had an untouched resources of a community, just fun, engagement, everything that's Dojo, from the brand badges and everything. It's just amazing. And it was all mine. Nobody else knew. Whoever, Drew Estate was already there, but they're a big company, but nobody else was using them. And then I stopped telling people, which I kind of felt bad about, but I'm sitting in a gold mine. I'm not going to tell everybody where the gold's at, because then I won't have any more gold.
Sure.
Fast forward to I now get my brand gets acquired. I get into Cigar Dojo, and I say, now I'm going to blow this motherfucker up. I'm going to show people what I didn't show them before. What I know, because through my own experience, is that Cigar Dojo is a massive, massive marketing tool. It is a marketing machine that's just grinding out impressions and all this. Because I tell people all the time, pound for pound, Dojo is the best cigar media platform anywhere. Yep. I'm talking about, they beat out Cigar Aficionado, they beat out Coop, they beat out everybody. You know why? I won't say this on their show because I'm trying to be nice, and technically I still represent the show. But here's the bottom line. No, I dare you to find me any other cigar media platform that has the level of consumer engagement that we have.
Yeah, there's none.
Nobody.
None.
It's a
There's none.
community. Everybody else is just news. Some news is more fun than other news, but the industry goes to Half Wheel for the news because that's what they're good at. You think anybody's gonna go to watch a Charlie Mulatto show and get a laugh and be entertained? They're gonna get Rapper Binder Filler and all the story because that's what they want, right? With Cigar Coop, he's great. You know, no spoilers, no rumor free. He's a beast at reporting news. He's the CNN, the Fox of this industry. He's one of the best.
Yep.
But when I say pound for pound, Cigar Dojo is the best cigar media platform. They have the news, they have the reviews, the ratings, Rapper Binder Filler. They have engagement. They have articles. I did an article, top 5 boutique brands to watch in 26, and now they gave me the chance to continue that. So I'm going to do it for 27. We got the 2 shows with a little thing. There might be a 3rd show coming. I'm working on it. This is the things I'm trying to bring to Cigar Dojo. We're working on it, and I'm doing all this to build. Because I know what a big machine, even bigger, to help to get more brands involved. And I'm doing this because I know right now they're humongous, but the potential is even greater. And again, no other media platform gives you that level of engagement, that level of community. Where look at this right here, this podcast I am on is because of Cigar Dojo. Where is the Half Wheel show that somebody the quarter wheel show? Nobody's ever done the quarter wheel show because there's no community there. And I'm not taking anything away from Half Wheel Coop, because I think between Cigar Coop, Dojo, and Half Wheel, the top 3 online media. Then of course Cigar Aficionado, and the only thing that Cigar Aficionado has is that #1 spot. Otherwise, that #1 spot is the only thing that moves the needle in that entire industry. Anyway,
and I think,
go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, I think the thing is with Cigar Dojo, and I'm hoping boutique brands recognize it. It's free advertising. If you start getting people to smoke your cigars on Cigar Dojo, other people are going to start asking questions. I might not have heard of Warfighter or some of these other brands, but all of a sudden I see, Juan smoking one, Teddy smoking. Wait, where'd you pick that up at? What's that? What's that one all about? All of a sudden you start seeing they're giving it thumbs up. You're like, wait a minute here. I want to try that cigar. So it's a great cigar media that's giving you free advertisement. If you can put your cigars in those people's hands that are part of Cigar Dojo and people start smoking them, all of a sudden it becomes one of the top brands of the week. And you're like, wait a minute here. I didn't have to do anything, but I got 50 people smoking that cigar this week. And I got other people asking about it. Now you start seeing your sales going up. And I think that's one of the things I think you're doing well with Cigar Dojo is you're getting the boutique brands into people's hands, and people are starting to go, wait a minute here. I want to know more about this brand. I've never smoked this brand before. So
I've always thought the brand badges were like a hidden thing where, people chase those badges. They want to get the badges. They're like cool pictures they can have on their profile.
And
they'll go
that is
smoke
100%
5.
true.
Yeah,
that is 100% true. But they got to smoke. I forget the level structure, but I think the first 5 is level 1.
right.
Then I think it goes to 8 is level 2. 10 is, I'm not 100% sure. I got to learn these things, but I know it's not always 5. So what protocol?
Yeah, it jumps 5 and then it jumps to 10.
5, 10, 20. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so by the time you have, like, I got guys with 100 level pro. You know how many cigars these guys? Yeah. And then it's so funny. I see people always tell me, what happens if this guy takes one cigar of mine and takes 100 pictures and puts it? You should be kissing that guy's ass. Guess what? Because that guy just did 100 impressions for you. You should want everybody in the dojo to do that.
Yeah.
And they don't get it. I don't understand. Yeah. They don't. People tell me all the time, oh, I could tell, even within the community itself, sometimes, I could tell this guy's the same cigar and a different picture of the house. I see he's got a hangnail right here. And it's granted, it's true, but who cares?
Yeah.
He's bringing content and impressions. It's all beautiful. It's all great. And he wants to get a bag. Who cares? Yeah. It's just all beautiful stuff. Us as human beings got to stop being competitive. Now, 45 minutes into it, and I still haven't answered your question, but I'm going to try to answer now. How did Cigar Dojo, how did I pull this whole thing over Cigar Dojo's eyes, the wool over their eyes per se? So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Cigar Dojo. Cigar Dojo started off, when they started 14 years ago, they were a boutique media platform.
Mm-hmm.
They were boutique media platforms. And back then, because Fuente wasn't talking to them, Rocky Patel wasn't talking to them, whoever was out there, whoever the big names was, there were nobodies. Nobody was talking to them. So guess who they would get? Boutique brands, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because I was there, I was like one of the first 100 members to Startup Dojo. Bill Ives actually put me onto that. And I was there. I believed in Dojo since year one. So when I launched my brand, it's so easy. One of our members is a cigar guy now. Let's get him. So I was, in the early days, I was on there all the time. Bill and I were always on the show, being ourselves like this, making fun of each other because we were drunk and we'd be exciting and people, it was great. But back then they were boutiques, so they would get boutique brands. And what wound up happening naturally, organically, and rightfully so, they began to grow their social media platform to the point where they are now a mainstream media platform.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're mainstream, who do you go for? Now you get the Rafael Nadals. Now you get Steve Saka. Now you get Nick Melillo. Now you get Carlito Fuente. Now you could get whoever you want at this point, because Dojo within the community, and rightfully so, because Eric and Jordan put a lot of work to build that. And what happened was they forgot about the boutique brands. There was a time there where you didn't see a mention of a boutique anywhere, because they were concentrating on mainstream media. Because the reality is that, I'm going to throw this out there. No, and this is just real. I'm being frank because I'm a frank kind of guy.
Oh yeah,
You're
absolutely.
going to get 7,000 views with Steve Saka. And if I bought Aaron Poletta from La Vega, you're lucky to get 10 views. And that's just the nature of the beast. You understand? It's organic. It's natural. That's what happens. So they went, and when you get into mainstream media, you want mainstream numbers, and all these numbers, these views, that's all going to help you with your advertisers, everything. It changes the whole dynamic.
Oh, yeah.
So when they asked me to join, I said to myself, all right, I'm here. God has placed me in this platform for a reason. What am I going to do? And I looked around. There was no conversation. Listen, to me, my philosophy is, if you're going to have a cigar conversation and boutiques are not part of that conversation somewhere, are you even talking? Are you even talking? No, you're not. You're making noise. You're blowing out smoke. So I was like, I'm never going to be able to steer the ship back to the boutique. But every once in a while, I want to course correct and just get a course correct and talk about boutiques. So you heard it here first. I've never said this publicly, but I'm in a frank kind of mood. So I was on Kiss My Ash Radio for a few months.
Yeah.
And I was there in the morning talking to Abe and Alex and Coop. Great guys, great show, awesome. They kind of gave me my first step into this. But I remember one time I said, I wanted to do something different. So I said, and I was thinking it back then. And I said, this week I'm my boutique of the week. And everybody, right? Whoa! I probably blew out speakers. Whoa, what are you doing, Juan? Who you think you are? Kind of joking, but not joking. You don't have your own segment yet. You just started here, rookie, and blah, blah, blah. Da, 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 da. And I was like, it's kind of laughed. And we all laughed about it. I was like, all right, no problem. I'm like, wow, you guys are missing out on a really good opportunity. But hey, this is your show. And this is me thinking in my head, I didn't talk to Abe. This is his show. I'm just a guest. But then when I came to, and there's been the bottom line is, I've been a friend of Erica Torsmanson for now since they first started. I forget, we try to figure out when we first met, but basically as long as they've had this, I've had a brand, let's say they've been 14 years, I've probably known them 13, and we've been on the show since we've had the brand. Now the brand's just turned 11 years old, and just really great guys. Yeah. So I would say about 13 years I've probably known these guys. So anyway, excuse me. So I know Eric and I are friends. So I tell Eric, I got an idea. I want to pitch this idea to you. How about if we do, and I didn't even change it from the name because it never really made its debut on KMA, because Abe and Alex and Coop, everybody smashed it down. Like, who the hell you think you are? You don't have no, you're nobody to have your own segment. Get out of here. Which I was like, all right, Did I expect Eric to do that? Probably not, because he's my friend, and I kind of knew it would be good for the show. And I was like, I pitched him the idea. Next thing you know, Jordan works on the Boutique of the Week intro, and it became such a thing. And I said to myself, how long is this gonna last though? Because Abe would tell me sometimes, this is never gonna last long. How are you gonna find 52 boutique companies in a year and all this other stuff? And he was like, you're dumb, you're dumb. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I am dumb. Yep. And I'm so dumb that I brought it here. And we are now 1 year into Boutique of the Week. And I am right now, and I'm still finding boutique brands. That's just it's become my obsession in a way.
Yeah.
I'm still finding boutique brands, still reaching out to them. I am now booking till late September, and we are in late May.
That's awesome.
So I got already everybody lined up, and I didn't think this would last more than a few people. And it's kind of like it's interesting. Like, you'll have people in life that are your friends that will tell you, no, you can't do this, and you'll have maybe enemies tell you that you can. Like, who do you listen to? I don't really know, but sometimes you got to listen to yourself. And I said to myself, and I started to doubt myself, because I was like, Abe's right. I'm probably never going to find, this is not going to be a long-term show, because am I going to find 52 boutiques to feature for 52 weeks of the show? I don't really think so. I think he's right. Maybe this is dumb. But I'm now a year into it, and I'm still going. I'm all the way up until end of September, and we're still going. There's still more guys. And I can't tell you how many guys that I have not gotten answers from. And if I did, I'd probably be booked for a whole year. But I'm gonna keep going and keep trying. And we just did our 1 year anniversary, not a show, but Tim McCabe. I don't know, he's probably not watching, but Tim McCabe, I don't know if he watches the show at all. Real good guy. He is a fan like me, like a mega fan. He actually, I believe he has a real job. Then he works at a cigar shop for
right there. He's right here.
Tim McCabe's here.
There he goes.
Here.
Tim McCabe. That's right. I'm telling him about he did the video for me. So Tim McCabe does the video, and it was amazing. And Tim McCabe always, those little Boutique of the Week highlights that I show.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pull a highlight from a YouTube, and he doesn't want to teach me, because then I wouldn't ask him to do it anymore. So I started getting into AI recently, and he goes, "Oh man, before you know it, I'm not gonna have a job because you're getting really good with these AI videos." I'm like, listen, as long as you never show me how to pull video from a YouTube channel, you got a job forever. And I'm kind of too lazy to probably just Google it and say, how do I? He does it for me. I don't even have to ask. It's to the point I don't ask anymore. Saturday morning, boop, I get a 3-minute video excerpt, boom, and then. And every time, I'm gonna let the people know, every time we give cigars away and somebody doesn't claim it, guess who gets it? Tim McCabe, because he deserves it. Boom.
There you go. That's awesome. Well, yeah, we got quite a few people that are commenting on it. Let's take a quick break. You can get your drink. Perfect. We can thank our sponsors, and then we'll come back and we're going to continue.
And then I'll take maybe audience questions. And
absolutely.
Stuff. Absolutely. I feel so happy I don't have to read. Oh man, what a break it is.
See, Walter, yeah.
All right, guys, I'll be right back.
You'll miss my read. All right.
Step into luxury at Ultimate Cigar Lounge, where passion meets perfection. Discover a world of premium cigars, hand-selected from the finest tobacco regions. From bold beginners to seasoned aficionados, our curated collection delights every palate. Grab a cigar from our amazing selection. Pair it with freshly brewed coffee or fine spirits, and sit back and relax in an atmosphere of elegance and warmth. Ultimate Cigar Lounge, your haven for unforgettable moments. Visit us today and ignite your senses. Ultimate Cigar Lounge, located in Villa Park, Illinois. Open day. Looking for the ultimate eyewear experience in Chicagoland? Discover Eyewear Fix, your premier eyewear store for over 28 years. From sunglasses to sports glasses to safety gear, we've got it all at every price point. Bring your prescription, and we'll handle the rest. Our appointment-only office offers a private, concierge-style experience tailored to your busy schedule. Call or text Chris at 630-853-4167 to book your visit and see why Eyewear Fix surpasses expectations. Eyewear Fix, where style meets precision. Get your fix today.
This episode of Chi-Town Cigars is brought to you by Aganorsa Leaf, where cigars begin exactly where they should, with the tobacco. Grown from authentic Cuban seed tobacco on Aganorsa's own farms in Nicaragua, these cigars are built on flavor, balance, and craftsmanship. No gimmicks, no shortcuts. From the first light to the final draw, you taste the difference when the leaf comes first. Aganorsa Leaf Cigars, where the leaf is our strength. And Val Chavez wanted me to do a little flex last week. So there you go, Val. I'm doing my flex.
Nice job, Mike.
Thanks. I'm trying to keep up here. I keep increasing the read.
Does that shirt come with batteries?
Man, this is one of my cool Vera shirts. This is it. I am back into the summertime. It is great. I can wear these all the time now. Working from home has got its perks, and I love it. I couldn't be happier to start work today in a Cuba Vera and some shorts, and this is great. So,
Juan, did you get your drink?
Yes.
Okay,
Awesome.
you got a toast for Abe.
there we go.
Abe the Babna. If somebody could, I'm sure they'll send him the clip of me imitating him a little bit, but they won't send him this. Abe the Babna, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I've said it publicly before. What you've done for me and just everything, like you've made part of my dream come true. Thank you. And I will work with you to continue to grow Protocol to bigger and best heights. Abe, here's to you for everything you do for this industry. Salud.
Cheers. Salud. As long as you mention that, I know the answer to this, but I will let you do it. Slashua wanted to know where he can pick up Protocol cigars around Chicago, and I think Abe, Juan, correct me if I'm wrong, but right now Protocol isn't really out there on the market because Abe is sort of keeping everything.
So I'm going to tell you exactly, basically, I'm going to answer all questions. There are protocols still in the wild. These are things that people have bought and had it on the shelves. Some stores, which is amazing to me, actually take stuff and put it away when brands are hot, they put them away to bring them out. Somebody just sent me a text of a store that put out cigars that we have from 1916. Jesus Christ. See how crazy I am? From 2016, they're now 10 years old. The guy sends me a picture. Look, I just bought these today at this shop, blah, blah. So there are still some out there in the wild. However, there are a lot of shops. I'm going to name one in particular. I love them. There always be a shop close and dear to my heart, and that is Famous Smoke Shop in Easton, Pennsylvania. That was my backyard. As a matter of fact, when I was telling the story, listen, I still will tell people that if you're anywhere, tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, of course, go to Famous Smoke Shop. They have a restaurant called The Leaf that's right next to it. Just a great experience. I lived there for many years. That was my home base. So obviously my brand is going to be strong there, the strongest there. And when they read that I sold to a competitors of theirs, Smoke Inn, the next day, and I get it. Listen, it's a business.
Mm-hmm.
This is a business. It's not about feelings. I saw Arthur at the show. I still hugged him and say hello. Arthur Zareski is the owner of a Famous Smoke Shop. There was no ill will, no animosity. I didn't even mention it. You know why? Because I understand business. So the next day they put it on 50% off. Boom. Fire sailed it, and some people in Pennsylvania got lucky. As a matter of fact, I went to go visit my daughter in the area about a week or two after I made that announcement and actually bought some of my old stuff back. I was like, screw it, because I was like, oh, look at this. This is on sale. $5 a stick. Wow. A fire sale. Listen, you're not pissing nobody off. You're only, making yourself whatever, but you're making the fans happy. So if you want to make the fans happy, and there are a lot of people that did that also. And I get it. I understand it. It's part of business. But what I think when we did this sale, I want to say our last sale to a store was probably a year prior to the sale of this, because we were having issues. It's part of life happens.
Yeah.
We were having work issues. Kevin was working, mostly COVID stopped happening and he wasn't working from home anymore. It was more of he's going to have to be at the office. So, and it was me not wanting to be on the road because I'm retired and my body is destroyed. I cannot, I look decent, but I have so many ailments as a matter of fact, today I just got a shot in my back for some sort of viscous thing because I got, arthritis and all kinds of, it is what it is. You get old, right? Mm-hmm. And I didn't want to do the road anymore. The road is a young man's game. So I stopped going to the road. I would still post stuff on, but we didn't have a sale in about a year's time. So by the time this thing happened, it's not like I'm not going to say who, but there have been people in this industry that have sold cigars at full market price to a shop, and then 2 weeks later they're selling it. They sell all their stuff now becomes available through an online catalog or something like that.
Mhm.
And now what happened? You're selling your cigars for whatever, and the people that bought your cigars a month ago are sitting on those inventories that nobody's ever going to buy because they'll buy it at a fraction of the cost to that. Now that to me, I think is a grimy thing that I could never, like, again, business, but I'm also a person of honor,
Mhm.
and I couldn't do that to anybody. So I decided, let's just hold off, because I didn't know what was happening. It was more of we had a conversation, like, let's stop selling, no more sales to nobody, not even to famous or anybody. Good solid year, because we have to figure out what we're going to do. We're either going to just close up shop, try to, or whatever. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. And I like Abe's philosophy with you, trying to get everything set. Because one of the things I heard him say is he wants to make sure when he puts something out there that he's got a good supply, that he's not going to run out. So I think that's and we see that a lot with cigars, where something gets out there and it gets hot, and all of a sudden people are like, I want to buy it, and you can't buy it because it's sold out. Well, now that sort of cools the momentum. So it's nice that Abe has sort of structured it to go, hey, I want to make sure when we put these out there, we have a supply so that the consumer can get what they want.
So before I tell you this quick little story and analogy about exactly what we're talking about, I lit up my next cigar. This one is by a brand called Tradecraft. They are new to Cigar Dojo. I just had them on about a matter of fact, this was my last boutique of the week, Tradecraft, the Gladius. And now they could check into badges, because I believe, anybody I get on, I'm like, this badge is an impression making machine that will give you years and years of compounded impressions. Even after the company, I don't say this much, but technically if a company died, that brand badge will stay there, just continuing to make impressions on something that's already dead. So it's like kind of beating a dead horse, but it is what it is. But it is a beautiful concept. So to go what you were saying, so being a boutique brand for so many years, the hardest balance, especially when you have a small budget, is supply and demand. There's a balance of supply and demand. And we would always underestimate our demand, because we'd be like, nobody's going to want us. This cigar from the day one of our first release, it was like, nobody's ever going to buy these cigars. We're going to have to smoke these cigars for the rest of our lives. So that's why we did every cigar exactly to what we would love. And if it doesn't sell, we close up the company and we have 5,000 cigars between whatever, some amount of guys. And we're going to just smoke those cigars and we were fine with that. So every release was based on that premise. The premise of, if this doesn't sell, can we smoke all of these for the rest of our lives? And I think that's part of our success. So what would happen is, all right, people, I'm going to take Phoebe Cousins, for example. All right, Phoebe Cousins has been out a year already. It was a nice flash in the pants, but it took us X amount of months to sell these. How many do we order? Do we order, do you order 10,000 boxes? No, we're small, because you order 10,000 boxes and it sits in your shelves, and that's your capital that you're tying up. So you got to be, all right, 400 boxes, 500 boxes. And okay, but let's get 500 boxes. That sounds about right, right? Boom, that should last us 7 or 8 months. 500 boxes come in. Boom, they're out the door in 3 weeks. Now you got no cigars, and what do? Now you got to put in a purchase order, and that takes 120 days. So what happens now, it creates this thing where while people were doing protocol, and we didn't do it on purpose, is people would start hoarding them. It would come out, and people would buy 4 or 5 boxes of whatever particular thing they liked, because, if they didn't, they'd have to wait 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, sometimes a year. It depends on what was going on in our lives and in the industry and in the whole supply chain, and things happen. And we're a little guy. And I give this analogy. It's one of my favorite analogies. I came up with this. The cigar industry is a road. On that road, you have semi-trucks, 18-wheelers, and they're your big legacy companies. They hit a pothole, boom, they do a slight adjustment, and they keep on going. You don't even notice it sometimes, because they're that big, that massive, travel so fast. Take that same road that is the cigar industry. Put a guy in a motorcycle, which is the boutique guy. Put that same pothole that just made that 18-wheeler sway, the guy on the bicycle will hit that, wipe out, and possibly even die. That is a strong analogy for exactly what this boutique industry is for a small guy that doesn't have all this capital. You're small. You're trying to keep up the pace with the Fuentes of the world, with the Eric Espinosas of the world, and it's hard. So what I did was basically we sold it, and then because like I was saying, what would happen was it would be these weird, and that game became so crazy. We never got to really equalize because of it. Because we would try to, concentrate supply and demand. All right, and I would do all right, booms. Elliot Nesses are back. We got 500 boxes. This should last a while. Then a guy that likes Elliot Ness is buying 10 boxes. Then boom, your supply is gone and your demand is still there. And we never got a hole in the whole supply and demand thing. And I think it's because we didn't do it on purpose. We didn't create this thing. But what Abe wants to do, and it's a beautiful thing. I say this is a win-win. This acquisition is a win-win for everybody because he's all about customer service. He's all about the fan, the cigar smoker. He wants you to, anytime you want any particular cigar, to be able to go and get it. Boom. So to answer that question, there are some protocols in a while, but moving forward from February of this year, all protocol are going to be only available. Whatever I had, which wasn't a lot, he got as far as acquisition. And we have a tremendous purchase order coming in that's going to be this should last him a long time, and he's going to be able to now really gauge. So it's going to be something in the ballpark, I think maybe like 8,000 or 9,000 boxes of each SKU. It's going to go, he's got a section in the warehouse for me, and then he's going to, because we really haven't said anything because he doesn't have it yet. And he's very smart. He's a great promoter. He's great with media and great with and just everything with the whole thing. He goes, why are we going to create a bang, a flash, a demand, and there's no supply? You have to wait till you get the supply. So that's why we have him. Like he'll put something there, but he hasn't really given it the focus he wants to because he doesn't have those cigars yet, and he probably realistically won't get them probably until maybe the next 3 months. Yeah. But once those cigars come in, and he's got them, he's going to start pushing. And the fans that love protocol, it's going to be done by Eric Espinosa. It's going to be done by AJ Fernandez. It's not like we're changing anything. The only thing we've really changed in protocol is the infrastructure. Yeah. The infrastructure that now somebody that really cares and wants to see this brand do well. And that tells you a lot about my old partners. I hate to say it, but if you want to see this brand you do well and not be an ego thing and not being something else than what it really is, this guy wants to provide this great service to his customers and have protocol available anytime you want. So it's not like you got to wait for the next Sir Robert Peel to come out, 500 boxes. Now you got to spend 5 times what you would have. So this is what he's doing. And I think we're going to continue to make new brands and new releases. And it's going to open up the doors. It's going to open up doors to do collaborations. Like, Matty Booth and I have been working for like 4 or 5 years on this collaboration that we couldn't get on our sides done. But now that this is happening, it might, give us the fast track to do these things. Yeah. I had Rocky Patel reach out and say, I want to do a collab. So these are things that you couldn't do before because now Eric made my cigars exclusively. Well, Eric still is going to make everything protocol. But if I wanted to do a Rocky Patel, whatever collab, Juan Cancel, Rocky Patel or whatever, now that opens up doors. So I think the best is yet. I use this statement a lot when the time is right, and I think this is one of them. When as far as protocol goes, the best is yet to come. And then why do I do all this stuff for boutiques? Because I saw what I did. Again, I'm a humble guy, but I think I'm a success story within the boutique world. And there are a lot of times when you don't see these stories; they don't happen enough. Right. There's far and in between. Matt Booth, Caldwell, but what happens to little small boutique sub guys that are trying to build and I've seen in 10 years I've been in this business, I've seen boutiques come and go. This is good for the industry to show people that you can build something. If you build a brand and you build brand equity. I didn't have cigars, I had brand equity. The only thing that was worth it was the intellectual property, and somebody saw that value. And this is something that could really give hope to a lot of boutique brands. So I think across the board, it was good for the fans. It was good for the brand. It was good for the cigar industry as a whole. It was good. It's good for everybody. I think it's going to be great. And now that I am with Cigar Dojo, I want to use this platform that God has placed me in, not to create accolades or spotlight myself. I want to go outward, and my focus is the boutique world. So I reach out to boutique brands. So everybody watching, if you either A, are thinking about opening up a boutique brand, B, have a boutique brand, or of a fan of a boutique brand, have them reach out to me. I'm all about, I part of my job now, which I don't get paid for, but it's part of what I do. I look at hashtag boutique cigars, and I'm finding brands, and I'm getting friends to people. I mean, befriending people on social media. Paul, this one guy, he's a big boutique nerd. Like, what, have you smoked anything good? And I'll reach out, and a lot of times they don't answer me back. Sometimes they do. Right. But it's something I'm still here. That post I wrote the other day, how we were doing this, and the mission continues. The mission continues. It's not over. The mission has yet to be completed, to spotlight boutique brands and help them utilize the marketing power of Cigar Dojo to their advantage.
Just curious, because we got a couple questions coming in, but I just want to throw this question at you.
Let's do it.
So you did a lot of PCA interviews with boutique brands. Yes. What feedback did you get from them, and what feedback are you getting from brands that you've highlighted on Dojo? Are they calling you up and saying that their sales have increased, or have you heard any feedback from those brands?
So you're talking about the PCA, or my boutique of the week?
Your boutique of the week, first of all.
Okay, let's do boutique of the week first. Everybody that I've covered on boutique of the week, I could see. You can go to their data page on the Dojo verse, and their numbers, their impressions have gone up. Some of them have told me that, yes, I'm going to tell you the kind of guy. You got a guy that'll send me the cigars reluctantly, and then that's all he wants to do. He's not doing anything. That's all. Yeah, I bring you to water, but you're not drinking from the fountain of success. The next part of the success is getting a brand badge. I hate to say this, and if you don't have $2,000 to invest in making impressions for yourself for years to come, and you cannot afford that, there's a good possibility you shouldn't be in business. I don't tell people this because it's a little harsh, but I'm getting to the point where because again, I have you in my boutique of the week. I tell everybody, hey, you can get the cigar now. Like Abe said, the buzz is there, the interest is there. The demand is there, but where do they get it? There's nobody answering that, because I'm not going to be sitting there like a circus clown and hey, you have to. I took brands all the time. The more you get in with Cigar Dojo, the more Cigar Dojo is going to get on you. So ask these 5 brands. I did my article, the top 5 boutique brands to watch in 2026. All these guys got on board with us. I reached out to them. They were receptive. They did everything they had to do. And then the more I talked to them, the more I was like, these guys get it. And then I pitched Eric, let me do this article. He was like, I don't know. He let me do it. I did it. He told me it was like one of the most viewed, visited articles in a while. He loves it. He's always talking about it. But what I did was I got guys that were doing it right. And I named Apostate, El Mago, Furman Perez, Avowed, and Domain. And those 5 brands they're on fire right now. Yeah. I'm not saying, hey, it's because of Cigar Dojo, but together, everyone accomplishes more. We're a team. Together, everyone accomplishes more. Yep. You get on board with us, we get on board with you. Everybody's now prospering. Oh, yeah. And this is the thing I'm having a hard time having a lot of these boutique guys get the grasp of, Okay, and to send me 20 cigars to give, that's all day long. Now, when I see the guys that are serious and listen to me, listen to my pitch, listen to what I'm saying, I'm going to bring you to the fountain of success, and I want you to drink from it. And the next step is drinking from it, and then doing this and all these. And if you just sit there, there's some people say no. I've been told no as well. So what do I do? Hey, I have enough guys saying yes that I don't need to give any spotlight to the guy saying no.
Yeah, this is an incredible example, because I learned Apostate from Dojo. Now Black Label Trading Company carries Apostate cigars. They're incredible cigars.
Right,
They are great boutique cigars. Like, I love them, and they sell a lot at Ultimate.
You have an event coming up with them, right?
This Saturday, 6 to 9.
Yeah.
Please tell Brandon and the other guy that I can't pronounce, I say hello.
I will.
So Matt Berger has a question, and I guess we probably should have started out the show with this question.
All right, let's do it.
What is your definition of boutique, so that we can level and get that information out there when people are hearing the word boutique and what we're talking about.
This is a great. Let me see where we're at. Where we're at. How long your shows usually go for?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Just keep going.
All right. So, what if it was up to me? I would love to get, and we tried to on a show. We had a show called "What's a Boutique Cigar?" Where we had Nick from El Mago, we had Terrence Riley on, and Terrence Riley thinks everybody's boutique, and he is. And I love Terrence. I have an affinity for Terrence. He's one of my favorite people, but he's part of the problem. He is part of the problem, the disease that has turned the term boutique from a category, which it is, into a marketing ploy.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's boutique, Fuente's boutique. No, nay. Arganosa is not boutique. There has to be a definition. So I wanted to see if we could get together and define. My personal, Eric, at the show for my birthday, we talked about it. He kind of, because we're on the same page. We didn't get a chance to define it, but I would love for this industry. Being a cop, the first thing you have to see is this illegal? And if it is, why? Why is it illegal? Define this for me. Why I should arrest somebody for having this. And that's the cop's mentality. So my thing was let's define what's a boutique brand. There should be a checklist. Like it reaches this, like when you have an arrest, you check, like, boom, 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 boom. We need to, as an industry, to define what boutique is. Like Jordan had the terminology craft. Yes, if you're non-machine made and you have human beings making your cigars and you're an owner, yes, you have a craft product. And there could be various degrees of craft product, but you could be making 1 billion cigars at the craft category because you are all human. You have X amount of people working there, rollers, bunchers, supervisors, quality controls, top notch. You are involved. When boutique's not that. Bottom line is boutique is small. Can I say this again? Small. If your company has a president, CFO, secretary, treasurer, this, that, director of sales, vice president of sales, regional vice president, blah, the more people you have working in just management,
it's not boutique.
You're not boutique.
Yeah. No,
right?
Absolutely.
Now, the smaller your people are, if you have one guy doing everything, two guys, it's the opposite. The least people, the less people you have working for you, the greater you are considered boutique. Because it's just, at the end, it was just Kevin and I. All our brokers kind of went their own ways, and it was just, we would do it, and I would go, I would drive to the office and pack up stuff, and every box. You cannot get more boutique than that, than the brand owner. When was the last time Rocky Patel? Maybe never. I don't know. Yeah. You know, when was the last time Jonathan Drew packed a box? So, go ahead.
No, and I think you're right. And I think one of the things the industry wants to get stuck with is numbers. And I've heard the number 500. If you produce 500,000 cigars or less, you're a boutique. Well, somebody says, okay, what happens if you produce 501,000? Are you no longer? And I think you sort of hit the nail on your head with the number of employees. It's a small business. If you have, and we're not talking about cigar rollers, we're talking about,
sales force.
Yes. If you're saying that you've got 10 or less employees in your sales force, and that includes you as the president, then you're a boutique brand. But when you start jumping up there and start employing 30, 40 people, you've moved out of that boutique and you're moving. And I think, I look at Postania, I look at Patina, I look at Viso Horny, I look at those brands and I'm like, they've got 3 or 4 people that are doing all their work. That's as boutique as you can get. You know,
can't get more.
No,
you can't get any more boutique with that. And then not only that, but there's so many misconceptions. Like you have to have your own factory. You don't have your own factory. And these other things start to get in. I think some things don't really matter. Like having your own factory doesn't make you boutique or not boutique. It's just you have your own factory, and that's a beautiful thing. But I never had my own factory, and I was still boutique. Even if I got my own factory, I probably still would have been boutique because you're making small amounts. You're doing, as employees. I think an amount has a certain play to it. I feel that way. But again, we as an industry should somehow, and it's never going to happen, but get some sort of definition. To me, 100%. If you make over 1 million cigars, you're no longer boutique.
Right.
100%. If you make over 1 million, and that's not one SKU, because some people have one. I'm talking about collectively as a brand. If Espinosa makes over 1 million cigars a year collectively throughout the whole Espinosa umbrella, they are no longer boutique. So therefore, they are now craft. They're still family owned. All the beautiful parts of boutique, but you just can't call them boutique anymore. And the thing is, I don't know what happened in this industry. I know why, because I'll tell you to write it down later. What happened that when a company is no longer considered boutique, it's become a cuss word. Like it is so negative. To me, it should be everybody's goal to no longer be boutique.
Right.
Still be craft, still have your hands on, still work on every blend, no machine made. But now you want to make more cigars to the point where you are now a mid-level size company.
Yeah.
You are no longer categorized as boutique. That to me is a blessing. You tell some of these people you're not boutiques, they're like, oh, they get offended. You should be happy.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think Steve Saka would say it. I mean, he probably was boutique for a while, and he's no longer boutique. So it's like going, hey, you've graduated to the next level. Why wouldn't you celebrate that? You know, you don't want to always be in kindergarten. You want to move up to the next level.
That's a great analogy. Do you always want to be in kindergarten? No, unless you're a retard. I don't know if you can use the word retard, but right, we probably can't. But if you have mental, there has to be a certain exigent circumstances that allow you to be in kindergarten. Otherwise, you want to go to first grade. You want to college. You want to get your master's, and that's how the boutique world should be. Like you have your sub boutique, your mid. There should be categories within boutique, and there's not. There should be sub boutique that you're real small. Like when Protocol first started, it was only 5,000 cigars, 25 of each SKU. That's sub boutique. Then you had mid-range, small boutique, then mid-range boutique, then larger boutique. Then that to me is a category.
Yeah,
boutique is a category. It's a definition of a category. But this industry has bastardized it and prostituted it into a marketing ploy, a marketing term, and it's not.
I can see why people would want to be called boutique, because it has the word itself comes from, like you think of a boutique shop where you go in and you get specialized service, maybe to catered to high-end clientele, and so it's got a connotation of being, at a higher level of service.
Yeah.
Fireborn, I just kind of looked, had a very interesting point, and I kind of want to address it. He goes, right now, we don't have a legal reason to define a boutique within the cigar industry. So playing devil's advocate would be inventing government oversight if we wanted to legalize a definition. Now, the reasoning for this definition is for category purposes only. What defines a boutique? Because now what he's saying now is it's a different government. It's not about government oversight. The government has nothing to do with a category of what a cigar is. The government just cares about whatever the government. I'm not saying to have the FDA come in and define boutique. I said us. That's why I said us as an industry should do the responsible thing and define what the category is boutique. Have either the PCA. How about the PCA take that and do? Why doesn't PCA on the website put boutique, midstream, legacy, or have legacy brands, large companies, midstream, and then have everybody categorized in that thing, and then And that's nothing. That's nothing, right? To do
What
that.
you need to do is you need to define that next level with a word that has the same cachet as boutique, that people
I
want
like
to be
what-
called that.
I like what Jordan came up with, which was craft.
Yeah.
Craft beer, craft cigars. But again, it's a category. It's boutique, and I don't know. How can you be in love with a category? You don't stay. Like, I love the way kindergarten sounds, but do I want to stay there for the rest of my life? No, I want to go to third grade.
Right.
Like, be a realistic industry. The boutique is not a marketing ploy like it's turned into. It is a category. I adore Espinosa. I made videos on my AI about Eric and the Warhead and the Velvet and the Velvet Rabbit, the Psychedelic Rabbit, because I love these guys. But I'm a boutique guy. But I'm going to call them boutique? No, they're not boutique. And I told you should be proud that you're not boutique. That's change. I said you got to change the mentality of this industry.
Yeah, isn't it? And Val Chavez asked a question, and is there is a boutique cigar association, and that actually closed up.
They closed up. They closed up because.
And I think that's a major. I think that's a major blow to the boutique
100%,
brand
100%.
because I think that's something that PCA should look at. PCA should definitely look at going, hey, we want to make that a section of our association, and I even think that's an aspect then for the PCA event to be able to go, hey, day one we're going to sort of highlight, we're going to highlight boutiques,
we're going to define boutiques, so this way everybody that's right, that would be a great idea, but I'm going to tell you why that's never going to happen, because the people who, unless they do their own thing, but the BCA is basically dead, and a lot of that has to do with egos of people that were involved in that. Yep. And I won't say anything past that because I'm trying to be Switzerland, right. But it's very difficult for people to walk into an industry or a entity that has some sort of power and be able to say, I own the brand, I'm going to make this work for me. Like, it's difficult for people. Like, technically, I still get some stuff from Protocol. Why not use Cigar Dojo and this new platform I'm at to now strictly help myself out? Right. It is a natural human urge to do that, to want to use every tool you have in your toolbox to your benefit. It is difficult, and it's a certain kind of person to use these tools to help others, right, to the point where you're now abandoning your own stuff. Yep. And I'm at that point, and I'm not saying this to toot my own horn, but I know I walked in here. I said, I want to spotlight, not myself, not Protocol, but I'm going to spotlight every small boutique brand that'll let me spotlight them. Yep. It's very difficult to find a person of that humility to do something like that, because you walk into somewhere and you got all eyes on you, all lights on you. Now you can sit there and want to take that all in. And, I don't know what's the way it is now. I don't think it's ever going to work unless the PCA does it as a subcategory. So that you got PCA, mainstream. I don't know. I don't really know what the answer is, but yes, BCA is gone. Yeah. But I would love to see some sort of association to fight for boutique brands.
Yeah. And I think the thing is that what your position, who you are, and what you're doing for boutique brands is phenomenal. And there you go. There's the phenomenal in there. Phenomenal. But I think it's just this thing that you could absolutely go, all right, I'm going to focus on Protocol. But instead you're like, hey, I've got this position with Dojo, and I'm going to highlight those companies out there that are just starting out, that are just getting their foot in the door, that they're producing X number of cigars, and they need a platform to be heard. So I think it's great. Sammy Flo has a question here. He wants to know, can people forward you Instagram pages for boutique cigars?
Yes. So on Instagram, I'm gonna tell you what my handle is. Can I put it on? Yeah, I could.
Yeah, you can put it on.
Let me see here. So on Facebook, I'll tell you what. Let me see. Facebook. Where am I?
All right. If you tell me to, I can always put it up as a banner.
All right. So go to Cigar Dojo and Juan Cancel. That's my Facebook page. If you could put it on, I'm not doing it. I don't know. I'm not technology based. So, but
are you typing it in, Mike?
Yeah. Hold on a second. Give me a second here.
So it's Cigar Dojo Juan Cancel. Just show them there. You could DM me there, friend me there, and also while you're doing that, I'll find the Instagram handle. And I gotta give you my dojo handle too, so guys could talk to me through dojo as well. Where is it? Here it goes.
What's your dojo one again? I'm sorry.
Cigar Dojo Juan Cancel.
Cigar Dojo. That's it.
And my email, my Instagram's the same. Cigar Dojo Juan Cancel. To avoid any confusion, both of them on Instagram or Facebook. Search Cigar Dojo Juan Cancel. Then you can go to either Instagram or Facebook, and you can DM me the name or tag me. You can even let's say you have a boutique brand that you really like. You can go to their page, one of their posts, and tag. You can ask it, whatever that thing is. Ask it, what's called that round thing? It has a name. The @ but it has an ampersand.
The ampersand or something like that.
That's it. The ampersand. Cigar Dojo Juan Cancel, either on Instagram or Facebook, where you're at. That'll put me on to them, and then I will try to reach out to them. And I tell people all the time, if you have, because I remember growing up in the boutique world, I had a relationship with boutique fans. If you're a boutique fan and you have a relationship with a brand, because I'm out here, I spend at least 4 or 5 hours a day searching for brands, and I'll get any help I can. So if you even want to tag me on one of the guys' pages, if you post the guys, tag me on that too. Or if you know the brand, like I said, to this day there's guys like Tim McCabe. Tim McCabe and I became friends because he started smoking protocols, and that's the level of engagement I did as a boutique brand owner. The same way, I befriended Rocky Patel and Jonathan, because this is what I was taught. I had Rocky Patel's personal cell. I had Jonathan Drew's personal cell. I had all these guys' personal. Now, when I used to get drunk, I would FaceTime Rocky Patel at 2 a.m. sometimes. Then he'd be cursing oh, why did I give you my number, you bastard? Right? But otherwise, that's what I would do. And that's what I did. So you guys, and I'm sure there are guys out there that are doing it. And I want to do this quick. I feel this is for I don't know, who will see this. Hopefully somebody, but hopefully somebody watching this is either A, boutique brand owner, B, will one day have a boutique brand for themselves, or C, work for a boutique brand. And there are things that I'm seeing boutique brand owners, boutique companies not do that I thought that was so critical and crucial to my success. And really quick, I'm going to throw out some pointers that I think every boutique brand, every brand in this industry should do. First thing, press releases. Press releases are the most easiest thing. They're free. You sit there, you take some pictures of your cigar, you write up a press release. The only thing that's going to take you is time. I'm seeing new brands. They are not doing press releases. I talk to them about they don't even know what a press release is. What's going on in this industry that the people are not guiding boutique brand owners to do press releases. What I do is when I tell you, listen, I don't know if you do press releases or not, but you need them. They are critical. They're free advertising. Imagine if you send your press release to 10 media platforms. All 10 media platforms release this press release. That is now, what is that? 10 times, and every time that's just impressions. Impressions are the name of this game. You start seeing this brand everywhere. Wow, Coop is talking about him. Half Wheel, Dojo, everybody that's out there. It doesn't cost you anything. Do a press release. Also, do a press release that's right. I have a template that I give guys free of cost because I want them to do this right. They're putting out a new cigars coming out. It's called the Ducks. Available next week, and that's it. I'm like, what's going on here? A press release is a story. Is your chance to romanticize, a storytelling,
to emphasize
that. And then the last, what else are they doing wrong?
You can have AI write your press release for you. We have a hard time getting people set to send us their press release even.
And I have a list of cigar media. I don't know if I added you guys. I got to add it. I have a list that I've collected over my 10 years It's about 15 what I considered legitimate cigar media, because there are a lot of guys with some Apple iPods and their Apple phone on the stand that they're claimed to be. I saw a lot of the PCA that had media badges on, and not once have I seen them release an interview, anything. That's another thing I think this industry needs to define, is what is media. There needs to be a checklist. Do you have a website? Check. Do you do press releases? Check. Do you have a top 10 list, whatever list? Check. Do you do articles? Check. Do you have a show? Check. Not because you have a Facebook group, that doesn't make you cigar media. Like, what in the world? And I know people are going to listen to this and probably say, oh, fucking Juan. But listen, I think I really didn't understand how much being a cop really shaped my life and the way my philosophy of life. But you want legitimacy. You want, if you're gonna, there were restaurants that you weren't allowed in, and there would be a bona fide list of restaurants. So to me, things have to be real. Like you could go to a restaurant where it's selling hot dogs, but they're really selling weed. Next thing you know, there's reasons for this, right? There's reasons that you should be going to legitimate, bona fide platforms, be it media, be it, cigar brands. I mean, manufacturers. There's so many levels of these fake people in this industry that is overwhelming. I looked at the PCA media conference. They had people over there that was on like their Walkman and recording with a box and no tape in the thing, going like this. Like, my God, you're just there for free cigars and basically to walk into somewhere you. And I think this industry, to protect itself, need to do more of the definitions, not a government definition. Fuck the government. As an industry, who's the leader of this industry? PCA, right? You want to be the leader of the industry, then really help streamline what is legitimate media, what is legitimate, a boutique, what is a definition, so that we can know. Because there are people that will take advantage of us. As being a cop, we looking for everybody in a room has a potential to take advantage. Most people don't see people like that. Cops do, because that's what we know. And there are people in this, from cigar manufacturers to media people to everything we were talking about. They're looking to take advantage. They reach out to people. Yo, can I get 30 cigars? I want to do a review, and never do a review. Now they got 30 cigars for them to sell. I've seen it happen. I know it happens. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've been victim to it. So I think a definition for media, boutique, is important, and more people. And it's not to fuck these guys, but it's to protect other people from getting fucked.
Yeah. Wilson's got a question. He says, hello, fellows. Question for Juan. I'm opening a cigar and bourbon lounge in Nashville area in August. Do you have a website for boutique cigars? So I guess, again, it's something that probably should be started, but a specific list, or, hey, here's the boutique brands that are out there, because you're struggling to try to find those brands. How do cigar lounges find those brands if they want to bring them in? I mean, I know Eric.
So if I was this, what's his name? Wilson. If I were you, this is what I would do. I would reach out to guys that are because there is no website to see all the boutique brands. It should. The BCA, that's the first thing they should have done, is create a website and put everything that they define as a boutique in there. But then it becomes, they're not part of the association. So this is where the ego and the money grab starts to happen. And when these things happen, it just doesn't last. Am I right or wrong?
No, you're absolutely right.
Again, a lot of people don't have that thing. And again, there's tiers to everything. Just like with Cigar Dojo, there's tiers to this. If you have a brand, guess what? You can be in my boutique. You could be a guy that is making your cigars on your plastic table, getting your tobacco in a crate that you have, and you release 20 bundles a month, and then when you finish, you buy. If you cook one, you're a boutique. You are by definition boutique. If you want to be part of this, and I tell people, being on my boutique of the week is not incumbent on getting a brand badge, on getting this, on getting that. I'm not going to go and buy your cigars and then feature them and send them to people. That I'm not going to do. As it is, the 3-5 packs that I send out, I eat the shipping because I believe in what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But if you gotta, everybody's got to meet somebody halfway, right?
Yep.
So my minimum, I ask you, send me the cigars, I'll feature them. But how many people say, give me your name, I'll put you on this database. You are now boutique, without it being, what am I gonna get out of it?
Yeah.
Not a lot of people do that. So shame on the BCA for not having that when they first started. And even if they had it, probably wouldn't be able to get
we
to
should
it.
do that, Mike. We have a website. We
There
can
we go.
create a boutique,
We'll
list of boutique
create it.
cigars and how
Absolutely.
to contact them.
I think that'd be a great, right there. Look, that's a great. If more people thought outside of the box, I was gonna say, reach out to me, see what boutiques of the weeks I've covered. I post all of them, and then you can find it. But if you had a website and you can see these are boutique, Yep.
So Fireborn's got a question. He wants to know, what are the best and worst life lessons you've learned from being in the cigar business? This could be an all-night discussion here.
The best lesson, the best and worst life lessons. Okay. I'm going to say the worst life lesson is that this business goes hand in hand with alcohol. And if you have a disease like alcoholism, like I had, it is very easy, because when you always think about cigars, you think about a scotch, you think about this, you think about a tequila, whatever it is. Every single cigar lounge have guys drinking. And when you're working, you are now drinking. You go to a multi-vendor event, they have a liquor person. Us industry people take $5. Here, let's trade. You give me as many. Boom. Here's a bottle for a box. Next thing you know, you're getting hammered and drinking. So me, my worst life lesson was drinking on the job, drinking to excess. And it's so easy because we're in an environment where you're just constantly drinking. Listen, I'm gonna tell you a story. I went to Cigar Heritage Festival in Ybor City, and I met with Nish Patel, and Nish Patel started buying me drinks. And it's not his fault, it's my fault, because I had a problem and my off switch was the problem. So he's buying me drinks and I'm drinking. I had 10 Johnny Walker doubles. I blacked out. I don't know how I got home. I didn't know. I woke up the next morning and I'm like, what the fuck? How did I get home? Did I kill anybody? I don't know what happened. And then whatever did happen happened. And I basically said, I'm never doing this again. I'm 50, whatever age it was, maybe 49, because it's been 2 years. It's probably like 49. I was like, I'm never doing this. And I cut cold turkey. I said, never again, God. I'm never going to test your resolve again. One day you're going to show me a lesson, and I'm not going to do it. So I just stopped cold turkey. But I would say alcohol and all the drinking I did while on the job with smoking, with cigars, because they go hand in hand. Think about it. Think about it for a second. If you're an alcoholic, and that's why a lot of people in this industry are functioning alcoholics.
Mm-hmm.
They sit there and they drink and they drink and they drink and they smoke and they drink and they smoke, and it's easy to get lost because the first drink's the hardest. But when you have, and then after that, they all taste like soda. They're just smooth. But now you throw a cigar in there. You throw in good conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking, yap. You put away 20 drinks, I don't care what are, and you don't even know it's happened, and now you're all screwed up. So that's my worst life. And the best life lesson that I can say in this industry is that cigar weeks don't work.
Well, it's funny Juan says that, but just so you guys know, next week we're going to do something different. We have Charlie from Abina Soda, sipping soda, which is specifically made for cigar smokers.
Yes.
He made sodas that he specifically made to pair with cigars. So he's going to be on our show next week. AbinaSoda.com. Check them out. Order your soda. You'll have it in probably by next Tuesday. You'll be able to enjoy with us soda. So if you're trying to stay away from the alcohol, Abina, they were at PCA, and great guy. He's going to be on our show. We're going to have a lot of fun talking about the opposite. We're going to talk about pairing cigars with sodas.
And that's what, when I saw him and I found him through PCA, I just fell in love. Juan, I don't drink too. I stopped in 2019. It just,
congratulations. I'll drink to that, but I'll drink iced tea.
Yes, water. But yeah, it was hard I started smoking cigars in 2017, but it's hard. You're absolutely right. One drink after the other drink after the other drink after the other drink. They're never ending.
Yeah, no, it is, and you see that a lot. You see a lot with guys and girls that start smoking cigars, and they naturally think, okay, I've got to go to a bourbon or to whatever to start to enjoy a cigar, and it is a natural draw. It is a natural thing to get pulled.
And it tastes good. It tastes freaking. Let's forget about the addiction part, the disease part. It's delicious, man. There's nothing more delicious than a nice scotch and a nice cigar. You're sitting there, you sip in, you get in, you oh man, come on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's delicious.
Oh, fantastic. Let's see. We got
any more questions? I think we did. Let's see. Anybody else?
Wish there's.
I want to hear the story about the crime scene unit that you said.
Okay, great
cigar.
Great. I guess it's a great segue to the end because we'll almost be on 2 hours now. Yeah. Anyway, so crime scene unit. I come out on the scene in 2015, and I've always loved the cigar that I loved the most. I would smoke a lot was that Liga Privada number 9 T52 Connecticut broadleaf. I fell in love with that. My number 2 was Mexican San Andreas. I fell in love with that. So I come onto the scene. I'm going, Eric Espenza. All right, let's do a Connecticut broadleaf because I'm really ever gonna make one cigar only, and it's never gonna happen again. So if I'm gonna have one shot, right, one opportunity, it's gonna be a Connecticut broadleaf. Eric laughs, says that's the hardest leaf to get. 10 years later, 10 years into my career in the cigar industry, every year, Eric, can I get a Connecticut broadleaf? Eric, can I get a Connecticut broadleaf? And everything we came out with was no, but the thing I got closest to in all those 10 years was the Elliot Ness Maduro. The Elliot Ness Maduro is cigar. Made by AJ Fernandez. This is when I said, Eric, I told Hector and Eric, all right, I'm on my, whatever, this is my next offering to the industry. Please, can I get a Connecticut broadleaf? We can't give you Connecticut broadleaf. We can't find it. But AJ Fernandez has Connecticut broadleaf seed grown in Nicaragua. Is his proprietary leaf. If you want to do that, the only caveat, that's the right word, caveat, is that you have to have them done at AJ. I was like, what? Say less. Let's do it. AJ Fernandez making my cigars. Happiest day of my life. I very loved him. Him and I have another great relationship. All those times I mentioned it, I went with Drew Estate too. I basically hung out with AJ a lot. AJ I have his international and his United States. So I wanted to call him when he's that's the kind of level of friends I became with these guys throughout my years. And AJ's a great guy. So I'm saying to myself, all right, boom, we do this. And I love the Elliot Ness Maduro. It's my second favorite cigar of everything that we ever made. Up until the crime scene unit, it was my favorite. So now it's my 10th year in the industry. I say to myself, Eric, 10 years. Can I get a Connecticut broadleaf? Nope, not going to happen, bro. I'm like, yo, who the fuck do I got to kill to get this? And then I love Steve Saka. I love Nick Minillo. I know both of them are big into Connecticut broadleaf. So I reached out to Nick. They didn't say no. They said, oh, you got to call my guy. You know, and they did their part. You know, call my guy, and their guy didn't answer and whatever. And I didn't say sell me what you got because they need it for them. You know, these are real business guys. I'm a sub boutique guy. So I'm thinking to myself, wow, I tried. Who I thought would have said yes to me was Nick, maybe Steve Saka, but I gotta basically you know, go call this guy. I know a guy, which a lot of times you know never really comes to fruition with those kind of things. So I'm thinking, I was like, who? I know a lot of people. I try Steve. I try the obvious ones. Let me try somebody else. And I said, just dawned on me one day. Let me call AJ. He was in Nicaragua. Call him up. AJ, what's up? In Spanish. What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. Hey, what's up? When we I said, bro, I need a favor, man. For 10 years, I've been trying to get Connecticut broadleaf, and nobody's going to get me. But I figured I'd ask you. You know, I know you're probably going to say no. And if you don't, I totally understand. Brother, I got you. Whatever you need, blah, 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 blah. And he sold me enough to make 3,000 cigars.
Wow.
And that's how that was born. And when they first came through, so 3,000 cigars, 300 boxes. I only got 150, and I was like, it came. I was like, I ordered 300, but I got 150. But this is better than 0. So I release it. I send it out, and that's where Abe kind of called me up, and I did the press release. I did my thing. Abe reached out to me, said, no, he sent Matt Griggs, which is his buyer, called me up. Yeah, hey, Abe wants to know how many cigars are you going to limit me? I'm thinking to myself, this guy probably wants to buy 10, 15 boxes. I'm like, yeah, you can buy as much as you want. I'm not going to limit you to 5 or 10. I want all 150. I'm like, what, for real? I was like, guys, screw it. It's easy for us because I was already on my exit strategy out of the company. I was already kind of done. I was like, sure, whatever. If you want to buy all 150, press release came out. He was the first to reach out to me. We sold it all to him, pissed off some of our retailers. But again, we had not sold to anybody in over a year. Yeah. And it actually worked out well. If I look at it in retrospect, if I would have not allowed Abe to buy that entire run, we probably wouldn't be talking about the acquisition of Protocol, because I think that's something that he's always had. Protocol. He had the same issues. Like, he want to order more, but I wouldn't have any in stock.
Right.
And then he'd be like, Juan, your stuff sells out quick when I get them. But I'm like, Abe, I'm sorry. We're small, blah, 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 blah. And then when he buys this, he's thinking, these guys have been kind of dormant for the last year or so. These cigars are not going to sell. I'll have them forever. And they sold out in 6 hours. Then he was like, wow, these guys are still kind of hot. Then he told me, Juan, call up AJ Fernandez. Tell him you want the other 150 boxes. I'll take them. I'm like, I'm not going to bother AJ again. He goes, I'm telling you, if you said, and he's using American legalese, I'm like, I'm talking to a guy in Nicaragua. He's going to tell me go fuck myself, right? He goes, I'm telling you, legally, he owes you those over 150 boxes. I'm like, let me try. Bring. Hello, my brother, what's happening? I'm like, hey, AJ, listen. Blah, blah, blah. Another 100. Brother, you got it, but don't ask me for nothing again. I was like, all right, you got it. So then I got another 150. And then those sold out. Or I think he might have a little bit left because they came, but he was like, wow, he was so impressed at how they sold, and the heat was still there. So he sold them. And now that he's bought it, I spoke to AJ because he's going to buy more. And of course, listen, AJ's got X amount of product. Mm-hmm. Is he going to sell this much and not have? But now if Abe's going to buy more, and he's already working with Abe, that's why I talk about this infrastructure. Yep. Abe is a big fish in this pond. He's a whale in the lake. People are going to want to work with him because they want to work with him, right? So if he goes to AJ and says, Abdel, send me 500 boxes. Yep, whatever you want, Bubba, because he knows this is his as everything else is his. Yeah, and that falls on that buying power. So that's why you're gonna have that. So the reason I love that blend, I blended it with. Listen, I said to myself, that might be the last cigar we get 150 or whatever it was. I don't even know if we're gonna get it. I said I want to. That's one of the cigars I kind of blended. I did a Connecticut broadleaf Maduro wrapper, a Mexican San Andreas Maduro binder, and then all fillers from. I wanted from Esteli and Condega and some, I think there was some Ometepe in there. I'm not 100% sure, but I didn't sit there and put it together, but I had the vision, and I told Hector, I want this, I want that. And Hector being the amazing, he is a really, Hector Alfonso is a master blender in all senses of the word. That guy is amazing. He's great. He is. That palate that La Zona has is one of my, when it comes to Maduros, I'm a Maduro maniac. I love Maduros. I'm always going to love Maduros. Nobody hits it more for me, pound for pound, than Espinosa Premium Cigar when it comes to Maduros, man. I love him. I love Maduros out of Espinosa.
Well, that's fantastic. I know there are people that are probably anxiously waiting for Protocol to be released by Smoke Inn and to be able to
I believe there might be a few. So, because I did sell him whatever I had, which wasn't a lot. Might have been 40 boxes across the board, and I haven't checked. But if you guys go, just to let everybody know, moving forward, you won't find, the only place you're going to find Protocol cigars is at smokein.com. So smokein.com has them all. I think they still have some other stuff if you're going to want to try it. And again, all this is going to do is help the consumers. It's going to keep the prices low, and it's all about the consumers. So I'm sorry, you can finish, Mike.
No, it's going to be a great thing. Like I said, I know a lot of people are anxiously waiting for those releases, and to be able to get their hands back on everything protocol.
And the same, that's the more important thing. He didn't move the factories. They're still being made. Whatever was made at Eric Espinosa's Lozona factory is being made there. Whatever was made at AJ Fernandez is being made there as well.
Yeah. What a fantastic interview. Thank you, Juan. Like I said, I look up to you as the boutique ambassador. When Juan says something, I'm like, okay, you got to try that one. It's just, it's exciting. And I think our audience has seen some things, and I think you're probably going to be getting a bunch of DMs from people going, "Hey, what about
I'm here."
Yeah,
like Dave West of Avowed Cigars. He called me. I'm a humble guy, but when I hear things, it really resonated with me. He called me the champion of the boutique industry, and I was like, "Wow, like a gladiator? You mean? Yeah, like a champion." And I guess what I'm doing, like you don't think about it, you're just doing things to help people. But yes. I don't think there's any other media outlet anywhere. Now you have your boutique media outlets. Don't get me wrong, yes, but there is no media outlet anywhere the size of Cigar Dojo that is dedicated a weekly segment to featuring new boutiques.
Yep. No,
and I'm very proud of it, and I'm proud of Cigar Dojo for doing it. And I'm thank you for the happy belated birthday as well.
Yeah. So David did think you carried the show for us. So he wants to make sure your back is okay.
So, I apologize. I know I like
it's
people gotta talk, like I don't know, it's just my person, it's funny how when I say this, I really mean it. Like being a cop, I don't think you ever not be a cop, because most times when a cop's in a room or in a situation, he's in control. And it's kind of hard to give up that control, and it's something that's become so part of me that I don't do it on purpose. I sometimes just talk and it's just, like you would. I hate to say it, but you would think this was my show and you guys are my guests.
You made it easy for us.
That's right.
Yeah.
We couldn't be any easier.
And not only that, it just I'm really thankful for being on the show. It has proven a lot, and the guys know about me. Working now 3-4 years. Ultimate has proven a lot that boutique cigars making a lot of difference on the shelves. And we're having the Shottown crew from Cigar Dojo or Herf's Ultimate. The guys have seen the difference, and I really thank you for that. I really sat back today. I didn't talk much, just because I want to get all this knowledge, right? And it's been proven a lot. All these new smaller brands that are bringing inside Ultimate, it makes a huge difference next to these big guys. We talked about it in the previous episodes. Smaller boutique cigars brands bring a lot to the table, and a lot of bigger brands see it, and they're like, hold on a minute, I'm doing something wrong. Let me do this. And the bigger companies are kind of copying the smaller boutique cigars here and there, right? And it's been proven. It has shown a lot throughout the years.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And like I said in the beginning, I don't know if it was in the green room or maybe in the beginning of the show, if you are having a conversation about cigars and you're not mentioning boutique in some sort of fashion in that conversation, are you even talking? You're not. You're just blowing smoke.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You absolutely do. Yeah.
Well, it's been a great night. We really, really appreciate you making up last week, and we appreciate you being here
tonight. This is actually better, because last week I would have probably been like, what was that? Right now I got enough oxygen in my brains that I'm back to myself.
That's right. So just to remind everybody, next week, like I said, Charlie from Abina Sipping Soda is going to be with us. It's going to be a great, great show. This is fantastic. You're going to get back-to-back shows. So join us next week. Like I said, check out Abina Soda, abinasoda.com for everything he sells, and we'll be able to pair some cigars with some sipping sodas next week. So
that sounds interesting.
Yeah. So Marty, close us out.
All right. Thanks again, Juan. Thanks to our awesome audience. Great interview. And until next week, put some smoke in the air.